There was no vehicle. To go ahead and tell you that, the one lights and the time on the videos are actually wrong. Law enforcement has confirmed that. The one looks like it's running down or something. That was actually the gentleman taking his trash can to the street. He has already admitted to that. There was no vehicle. There was no vehicle.
It has been 453 days since now 16-year-old Sebastian Rogers vanished from his home in Hendersonville. His disappearance sparked national headlines, but now his father says the case is losing momentum. With National Missing Children's Day coming up on Sunday, he is raising his voice and demanding urgency. News 2's Caitlin.
I went and talked to neighbors, and every single one of them, every single one, welcomed me. And if they had video surveillance, they gave it to me. The only person that would not talk to me, as the only person that had something to hide and wouldn't talk to me. You know, she has a son that's hiding and waiting for somebody in the dark, late night on the 25th. And there needs to be some explaining for that. I'll just leave it at that.
That we are going to keep searching, we are going to keep looking, we are going to find him, and we are going to bring him home.
Since we first aired the video last month, authorities have said no evidentiary value.
It is of no evidentiary value. It is of no evidentiary value.
Can you tell me what those lights are?
No.
Why?
Because the investigation remains ongoing.
Yeah, I'm working on behalf of Sebastian. I am not, my client is Sebastian, and they're the guardians that have the ability to sign.
It just started. Hi Dad, I know this is gonna sound weird, but tomorrow's picture day. So could you send some decent clothes over to me so that I can wear the decent clothes and be handsome for my birthday with all decent clothes? Mom!
Because our heart is missing. He is my world. I need him. I need him back with me.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me know how I sound in chat because I was having some mic issues the last time, but I think we fixed it. Yeah, big show. Been doing a lot behind the scenes, working on stuff with Chat GPT, which is amazing. I've been mentioning that a lot lately. I've got new exclusive footage. Now, this isn't to be released to be like, oh, look, I've got the footage. I shouldn't really say exclusive, but it is. It's really to show you guys new footage that could possibly help find Sebastian or answers. But that'll be kind of our second part of the show. We'll have 3 parts. The first part is revealing the 3M vehicle. Now, I guess we kind of need to get a little, so we get ahead of ourselves. You know, technically we have until it's combined together here. Give me a second. You know, we have this vehicle here. Oh, let me actually make this smaller. 1 second, guys. So I'll kind of refer to this as the unknown 3AM vehicle and then the 3AM vehicle on Kellen, you know, the one that drives up and down that we have footage of driving. That one we have figured out. Had a decent idea of what that car was, but now using Chat GPT and running just every single image through all the videos that I have and it taking the best images, screenshots, and enhancing them and taking certain aspects of the car, mainly examining the tail lights of this other car here. Let's see. 1 second, and we'll shout some people out here in a second. Where are you at? Yes, this car here. Oh no, that's the garbage truck. Somewhere in here, this car here. So yeah, since I have obviously video of it on 2 different cameras, it going up and down, like I said just before, I can give Grok not only images, but I can actually give it the video. It mainly studied the tail lights, and then I was able to clear it up and it be able to look at the rims as well. But just being able to take the LED tail lights, it was able to narrow down basically down to like 3 to 4 cars. And then from there, it really had like the main one and then, a few others that could be. But we'll go over that. But yeah, as far as Chat GPT, I think we have a pretty good idea of what car this is, even down to like the year, which is awesome. So then for anybody that may be in the near future, because people send me cars all the time, but without knowing the exact vehicle of this one up until now, it's kind of hard to fully compare the two if we don't know the identity of one or the other, or especially I guess this one, right? So this is huge in my opinion. I know this is something we've been going over, but again, this is unbiased footage, right? As always, as I always like to mention. Peggy, thank you so much for renewing your membership. I appreciate the love and support. God bless. And Peggy also gifting a Mob Crew membership. That is so awesome. Thank you so much. Salute says, really excited for the show. Thank you so much. Yeah, promise you guys. Oh, I thought I read something wrong. Anyway, and then yeah, I've got new footage to show you guys, and then the third part of the show, we'll go over the warrant that was allegedly happened earlier this year. And Hindsight, who's in the channel right now, they did a live show, and they brought up some great points about, because I was a little kind of 50-50 on it. My sources were kind of 60-40 on it, but I think they bring up some really good points about how that is more likely than not, and if that is true, that they were investigating them a year later. Not only does that tell you that it's a criminal case, right, because it was a criminal warrant, but even a year later, right, even though it feels like it's been forever and it should have been solved within the first week, they're still working on it, and I think they definitely need, a little bit of help behind the scenes, maybe, or maybe a nudge. I'm not sure which one. Maybe a little bit of both. So that's what we're trying to do. I can't. Is it Resin Mama? I'm just gonna say the Mama right now. I can't tell if it says Resin. I'm sorry, it's a little small there, but thanks, Mama, for becoming a member. All right, guys, let's get into it because we got a lot to go over. Again, I appreciate everybody being here. If you can, please hit that like button. Let's. We already got 500 people in here, so let's get started. All right, starting with the 3M vehicle off Kellen, which is this one here, which was seen going up the road on February 26th, the morning he went missing. Was seen at approximately 2:58 going up the street, or about 2:59, and then as it was coming back down the road, it was 2:59 and 30 seconds. So by the time it would have probably got to Stafford and Kellen, it would have been 3 a.m. on the dot. Remember, these people been in the Navy, military people. Wouldn't surprise me if they were involved, and you know who I'm talking about, that they maybe even did some dry runs, but they would probably be, on time. If this was some kind of abduction, or if he didn't make it there, they were switching out his, bringing back his clothes or whatever. I can see both scenarios, and yeah. All right, let's get to it, guys. All right, so the reveal of the car, and somebody mentioned earlier about how both these cars and Katie, because this same car shows up on the 27th as well. So one night after he disappeared, it goes and does the same exact route. We have shown that before. I'm not going to play that, but for those that have been watching the show, know that this car was seen not only on the 26th, but on the 27th as well. And it literally made the same exact turn. It went up right up down Devon here. It went up Kellen, and it went down Devon, and then it did a 3-point turn, which basically more or less is what KK did. The only difference is she just did a U-turn at the thing here. That would be the only difference. As the 3M car on the 26th and 27th, they actually went down Devon for a minute and then did like a 3-point turn and came back down Killen. But the only difference is Katie just did the kind of wide U-turn, right? So there's that. All right. So what is the car? Drum roll, please. And then we'll get into some new exclusive footage and yeah. So here's the car. Just played once, slowed down here. This is the car on Kellen, seen at 258, about 259. This is just the front one. I don't think I played the back one in this live. But just from those angles, gave me some really good screenshots. Let me play this one more time and I'll pause it. If you guys, I think it was the last show. If you guys remember, I don't know, the last two shows kind of blend together. I was really tired yesterday. But these LED lights are pretty pronounced. And yeah. So using that, and of course, using Chat GPT, which is my best friend now. I've been feeding, as you can see here. As you can kind of see here. We're already jumping to the answers. Not cool. But here we go. So, as it was examining the taillights, right? So here was kind of where I ended up yesterday. Actually, I think part of this might have even been this morning. But it really kind of came down to three vehicles: the Honda Accord, the Hyundai Sonata, and the Nissan Altima. And it kind of goes from A to D, and it even says a Kia Optima, yeah. And then, of course, the most likely being at the top, and then it giving the reasons why, the Honda Accord is the most likely, and then down to the least likely. And then it kind of showed different frames of the LED headlight or taillights. I'm sorry, and then all the notes on each one. And so Honda Accord 2016 has the twin red light modules in a cluster. Spacing and relative size of the lights match closely to your footage. Nissan Altima has two elements as well, but the housing is slightly wider and shallower. Footage appears to be tighter than in most Sonatas. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped because they both say the kind of the same thing. But it's kind of the same thing as the Sonata and Altima. I'm going to get over the Kia. So then, as you can see, it gives me good match, possible, less likely. Again, best. And again, so with Grok, if you remember, I started doing this with Grok, and it's kind of no surprise. Even Grok was giving me these cars, but the nice thing about this is this narrowed down the years. So not only was it giving me the car, but it was giving me like a certain generation, right? Because usually it was like and correct me, I'm not a car guy, but usually there's like 4 years of generation or something like that to a vehicle, something around in there. I don't know. Maybe I guess it just depends. So anyway, we can see all these vehicles, and like I said, it goes through them all and tells me why it could be and why not, which is great. But once again, it really came down to the Honda Accord, Nissan Altima, and the Sonata. And so then I fed it the body type as well, even though we've done the headlights and our taillights. And again, the two big ones are Accord and Altima and the Sonata. And then we get down to here. So again, after feeding it more information, let me zoom this in. And then there's even more to this, which is really cool. Oh, gosh. And jumping ahead. Why does it jump ahead when I zoom in on that? That's weird. It's going to do it again, isn't it? Oh, well. Oh, well. Not a biggie. Here we go. Make sure you guys can read that. Maybe. Oh, no, I got it one too many. Should have just took a screenshot. I knew it. Should have just took a screenshot. Okay. So, as you can see, here we go. After viewing more information, here it is. 2016, 2017 Honda Accord headlight, height, and throw pattern align closely. Tail light has similar slim bar with slight curvature. Body slope matches. The next best, and I think Altima and Sonata are like right there on the secondary. Similar profile, but tail light section tends to have a wider C shape, and I'll show you guys that. And then Altima has a rear light, often visible boomerang contour or amber element not apparent in your frames. And then, like I said, then these least likely. So conclusion, 2016, 2017 Honda Accord sedan, with the Sonata and the Altima being a very close second, but there are a few things, as you can see here. We got the unknown with the Honda Accord. Remember, we have the motion blur. And as you can see, this fits just perfectly. Again, it's kind of showing me more of a, this is a more side view, where this one's kind of a more rear view. So if you can only imagine if we saw this in the side view, I don't know why it did that. I think it's trying to kind of show me not only the side part of the taillights, but then the back itself. And that's why it's showing me these versus just really the side. And then you can see the Sonata, how it's definitely got, a more pronounced shape. It's not just like a square, where the Accord is more just even for the most part. And then I'm like, well, let's see if we can even go a little bit further, if we can compare the rims and check that out. That is, can I zoom out? Save image. Let me pull up this image real quick. But this was huge to me. And that is me enhancing. Well, that's Chat GPT. But that is taking the best frame of the vehicle, finding the best one where it can clear it up as best as can, and look at the match. How it's got the, I don't know what you would call that, like kind of uncentered. I don't know if anybody in chat knows what this kind of design is compared to a more symmetric. This is like more, I don't know, asymmetric. I don't know if that would be the right term. I think you guys know what I mean, though. Where, this feels like more symmetric, where this one's more got a asymmetric feel to it. I guess that's the best thing I can think of right now. But yeah, what do you guys think? Pretty wild. And it took a long time again, Chat GPT did a lot of the work, but I just kept feeding it the video and finding the best frames for it to like try to enhance the best it could. And I was finally able to get basically out of 3 videos, which are run 10 to 12 seconds each, so over 34 seconds of footage, I was able to find 1 frame, which I don't know how many frames would be in a 10-second video. I have to think 25 frames. I don't know. Anyway, I want to do the math, but anyway, a lot of frames. And Abel Pinwheel, thank you. Yes, Pinwheel. Yes, Amy Lou. There you go, Pinwheel. That is a great. Yeah, I like that. So there we are. So we've got not only the LED lights matching really good with the Honda Accord, but the best image I could find of this vehicle, it was just one, because every time I'd give it a frame, it would just, couldn't really give it to me. But damn, that is pretty wild. I'm super excited because we've been, I don't know how many cars we examined. Now keep in mind, even though this is the unknown car, it's really just showing, this is like just the body of a car. This is really just the part of the car because this is just matching up the headlights. But yeah, so pretty cool. So yeah, that's one. That's right, Widow. Exactly. Who drives the Honda Accord? Yeah, I'd like to know. And you know what I find interesting is there's a lot of vehicles that have been sent to me, but I don't know how many Honda Accords have been. And if you think about it, if they were involved, you'd probably want to hide that vehicle, right? It's a vehicle from like a second cousin, like a Danny Guy, something like that. It is. It is certainly spot on. Not this one. Obviously, the wheels are just generic wheels. These are just the headlights, or tail lights. I'm sorry. But thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. Yeah, super stoked. So, of course, that's just the appetizer, but that is awesome. Again, we've been working on that car, and really, like I said, even Grok, was saying like Honda Accord was at the top with it, a few others, but now to, use Chat GPT, which is so much more extensive. Yeah. That's a great question, Babs. That reminds me of the case here in Utah. I can picture her face. Susan Powell. Where Josh Powell, that monster, he killed his wife, but then took his life and his children's life. Just terrible. And yeah, he ended up renting a vehicle and likely moving her body somewhere here, either in Utah or Idaho, in my opinion, and not far off a freeway. I appreciate that hindsight. Yeah, that's a case that I've looked. I don't know if everything, anytime something slows down, I would love to go back to that case and because apparently there's some pictures, not to get off sidetrack, but there's pictures that Josh Powell took just before he completely moved to, was it Washington, right? to stay with his dad, and he took pictures. He would get off freeway exits going up north, and he'd just get off freeway exits and take pictures. And I think one of those pictures could be the area where he may have buried Susan. Oh, thank you, wise old lady, and thank you. I know everybody's thanking me, and I appreciate that. So here's the garbage truck, and I'm going to show you something else. Let's see. Should we? Okay, I'm going to show you what we're going to do, but I figure while we're still on the 3 amp vehicle, maybe stick with that, and then I'll show you guys. But as you can see here, we got new exclusive footage. Yeah. As you can see the time there, that's 11:04. That is, which it would be 9, almost 10 o'clock, right? That'd be almost 10 o'clock. The 25th. That's 11:29 on the 25th. That's right, more footage. But there's a particular reason why we're looking at this. Of course, the 258, 3:30 on February 26th. But you'll see why we're zoomed in on a particular reason. But before we get to that, because I promise you this will be new footage where we're going to work together, because I just got this, and this will be a team effort. So hit that like button, because I'll show you why we want to look at this footage here. I'm kind of thinking, because there was something I was able to get done. So give me a second here. Oh, this is just a picture. Oh, I know what I'm doing. Jeez Louise. Okay. All right, that'll work right there. Okay. Before we get to the new footage, let me show you else what I was doing. So, as you guys know, and I think I went over this yesterday, been working on the temperature of the unknown 3 amp vehicle, right? That's what we'll call it. We have the, in my opinion, the Honda Accord 3 amp vehicle, and now we have the unknown vehicle on Stafford. So kind of where I finished is I was running the tail light that we can see in this image circled in the red, right? We did some temperature. We found out that I know we've kind of gone back and forth on this. You know, at one point I was given LED. Now this is when I was using Grok. One time it told me LED, and then the last time I think I told you guys, you know, like a week ago, we thought it was a halogen light, or it was telling me it was a halogen light. But now using Chat GPT, which is so much better, it's telling me it's definitely LED. And of course, I could go through a lot of the temperature readings right here. So ROI, you see that a lot. That is region of interest. So if I tell it to look at a certain spot on the thumbnail or screenshot, image, whatever, or point of interest, I like point of interest, but it uses ROI. But anyway, which is the break. And so it gives me the temperature here of the R and G, and basically using this data here with the RG ratio 1.97 indicates consistent with LED taillights in a mid-size sedan. And keep in mind, up until this date, as you can see on the left, if you're familiar with Grok or just AI, you know, you have a basically you start up a new, thread, and you feed it information, and it remembers all that information you've told it in that particular thread. And as you can see, I've tried to separate each thread. I've separated the 3 a.m. moving lights, the 3 a.m. car on Kellen, or the Honda Accord on Kellen, and the unknown lights on the unknown car on Stafford. So finally, this morning, I fed it. Actually, I did some more stuff, but then after learning that this was a Honda Accord, I told it, look at this surveillance footage that was taken from the same night, just from the different road. What can you tell me? Is there any consistency? At least with the tail light. Obviously, it's not a lot to go off because it's just one little strip of light. But it was able to tell me, as you can see, the RG ratio 1.9, which is the unknown car. So that's the Stafford car. And February 26 goes from 1.9 to 2.1. So that is pretty spot on. And also the width of the feature 4.4, where the vehicle on February 26th, or Kellen car, is 4.6 versus 4.4. So they're pretty much a close comparison. The headlight temperature, obviously we can't see the headlights directly from the unknown car, but I did ask it. Was this earlier before? Oh, I did. Damn. One other thing before we get to that. And then we'll get into the new footage, and I'll read chat for a minute here. And like I said, all the main stuff that I'm going to get, I will send, eventually to the right entities, and we're going to do just a big Twitter thread where I just have all of it. We'll put it in all the evidence with actual data, put that all in a thread, and then we'll go live, and then we'll just try to promote that with FBI and TBI tagged. So with that, I said, can you give me possibly the width of the vehicle? Basically using different screenshots of it kicking on before it, as you can see, it's just barely coming on, to where it's the brightest right here. And when doing that, and asking, what do you think is the approximate size of this vehicle? And it gives me 14.5 to 16 feet long, approximately 5 to 6 feet wide, such as a Toyota Camry, Nissan Altima, or Hyundai Sonata, which all of those cars align with obviously a Nissan or a Honda Altima. And again, this is before I ever fed it the information from Kellen. So keep that in mind. And if you guys remember, I mentioned this a long time ago. I tried to have somebody go out there and measure, because I felt like, I don't know if you guys remember this. Let me know in chat. Huge points if you guys remember this. And this feels like a year ago. I mean, it was a year ago, which is crazy. Is I told a certain person to go out there. Hey, if Betty's in here, shout out to you, Betty. I hope you're doing well. I think you said in one of your recent lives that you actually got like a daytime screenshot of where this camera is, like its point of view. I don't know. If you have that, Betty, and you could send that to me, that would be so amazing. If you have that, Betty, by chance, I would love to see that. If you could send that to me, that would be awesome. But anyway, I told them, because they usually now, again, it's been a while. these curbs, these corner curbs, they're usually anywhere, I think, from 12 to 15 feet long. Now, again, this is like a year ago that I knew this information, but I think that's about the approximate length of each curb before, they lay down a new one, or cut the cement, or however they do it. And so I told them, can you measure that? Because I think the car is pretty much the length of one of those pieces of block, or right around in there. And yeah, it was. And yeah, God, I forget what it came back as. I want to say it was 14 feet, but man, we're thinking a year ago. But anyway. So going back to that, then I also, again, this is before giving it the Kellen vehicle. I asked, versus the headlight, because I told it, that clearly you cannot see the headlight lamp itself, because it's kind of at a top-down rear view. And I have an example if you're not sure what I'm talking about. And so it says it's roughly 28 to 36 inches above ground level, which lines up with mid-size sedan. And then it gives me, of course, some more options there. Moving on, one more thing, and I'll read chat here. I'll leave this up. And again, there's so much more that I want to do to this. There's somebody, I think they may be in chat. They know a way to get the dimensions. So you can actually go, I forget, and I know they sent this to me once a long time ago. This is before I was using Chat GPT, but it'll actually give you like the distances and like the approximate level of everything over here, which is really neat. And kind of like a topography map, if that makes sense, with measurements, if I recall. So I'll be able to give it dimensions from the camera to this. I don't know if Betty replied, but got a video and stills. Oh yes, thank you, Betty. I appreciate your support, and that'd be awesome to see that. Thank you, Betty. Okay. Yeah, let's see here. I already kind of went over that. So yeah, still working on the Accord versus the unknown vehicle. It's certainly not telling me, yeah, it's 100% this vehicle. Obviously, it's not much data for it to go over other than reading the temperature of the taillight itself, which does line up with LED, and then the spacing between where the headlight would be and the taillight being lining up with the sedan. So, we have that going. There's so much more that I'm still doing on that part of it, trying to connect the Honda Accord from Kellen to if this is the same vehicle. So that's something I'm working on. All right, so to the new footage. Let me read chat for a second and show you what what we're gonna do here. I'm just gonna let this play while I read chat for a minute, and then I'm gonna tell you guys why. And again, this is new exclusive footage, and why we're looking over in this direction. What's the headlamp temperature? Oh, like from the main car? I could do that, Princess Gumshoe. I guess it wouldn't hurt to try to get the headlight, temperature. Yeah, Chat GPT. There's just so much more. I mean, Grok is nice. I think Grok is now, after using Chat GPT, it's like the Temu version. But Grok is nice. I mean, if you're just getting like basic, it can still get your reports and stuff. It still does great work. But obviously, Chat GPT is there's just so many different ways that it's can do so much more stuff. It can literally write you out scripts for programs, which is amazing. Summer's Army says justice is coming for those involved. Mark my word. From love from Canada. Thank you so much, Summer's Army. God bless you. I appreciate your love and support. And yes, it is coming. A lot of things working behind the scenes. Angel of Light, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. God bless you. I appreciate the love and support. D, I missed you. Thank you so much becoming a member and supporting this channel. And we got a new excuse me, I got a frog in my throat right now. We have Keith Keith Fincham. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Also becoming a member and supporting this channel. I appreciate that. Thank you, Keith D, Mama Peggy. Oh, and Jazz. God, I don't know. I didn't even see that at the beginning. That's so weird. And Jazz, thank you so much. And I don't want to speak on her behalf, but yeah, I hope you're doing better and stuff. Get better. Okay, so oh, Amy, that means the world to me. All right, guys. So, like I said, you're probably wondering why am I playing this, and I promise you, it's very important. Yeah, girl mom. Yes, you can measure. You are right. As a matter of fact, I do even have Google Earth up right now, but for a different purpose. For this purpose we're going to do now. Yes, you were right. You can still measure, but what's nice is it can give you the topography, which is like levels, right? Because they're on a rolling hill. Out here where they live is rolling hills. So the more data, the more precise data, right? I'm sure it's not going to be right down to the millimeter, right? But, if we can get it down to, inches, I think, we get a pretty good idea of the distance from the vehicle, the unknown vehicle at 3 a.m., and those unknown lights as well. I have not used that. Every time Microsoft 360 or whatever comes up, I always get rid of it because I had like a free version of it. I don't know if it included the Copilot or not. It was when I first got this computer. And anyway, it drives me up a wall. But anyway. Okay, guys. Yeah, so keep in mind, the one on Kellen we have identified. That is a Honda Accord. I'm still trying to work out the car that's on Stafford, right? Now we have to, again, because it's a lot less information to work with. Almost, I wouldn't say zero, but, it's one thing to have a full car and, it moving versus a tail light and just the reflections from the headlight. Okay, so now moving on to new exclusive footage. All right, now I'll show you guys why I want to look at this, and I want to get, hopefully the FBI and TBI's attention. Mic check, mic check. Okay, felt like I pulled it out here. Sorry. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, so there's the garbage truck at 5 a.m. and it going back down at there's our trash man at 5:05, and then at 5:09 he goes back down. But we're gonna go back to the 25th first. Holy shit! Schnikes! No way! Hush Pup! Oh my gosh! Thank you so much, Hush Pup. That is so awesome. Holy shit. Sorry for my language. That is so awesome. Please, if you can, thank Hush Pup. Give them a huge shout out for the love and support. That is huge. Oh my god. Thank you so much. Now I'm like speechless. I don't think anybody's ever gifted that many memberships. That's insane. Thank you, Hush Pup. Holy shit. That's insane. Thank you so much. That means the world. And it yeah, that's awesome. Man, I wish I could tell you guys how much is oh man. I'm screaming from the inside. I'm telling you, good things are happening, guys. Man. Man, that is awesome. Thank you. All right, so let me show you where that hard work is going to. All right, so we've identified the Honda Accord, but again, I'm always trying to think outside the box, and I'm trying to keep good faith with my connections. So I was allowed to show this footage in a certain form, and there's a reason why we're going to be looking at the direction we are, and I'll explain that. But oh my gosh, Hush Pup, you are a legend. God bless you. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's give a little context here. This is a camera up on Kellen. It's the same camera that captured the 3M Kellen vehicle, which we have now identified. I would say like 95% Honda Accord. I would say maybe there's a 5%. I don't always want to say 100%. There's always could be a little bit of room for error, but it's even Grok was giving me a Honda Accord. But there's Kim B. Good to see you, Kim. That little light on the right of the big house lights hills, right? White house on Honeysuckle Lane. That's how high a trash truck on the street would look. Yes. And I'm going to show you what we're looking at. And we can use, obviously, details to exactly tell where we're at. So this is the home. Now, obviously, once you see security footage, any person can obviously find. So it's no secret where the footage is coming from. Normally, I would have been a little more vague, but, especially when fish sticks, I was always respectful not to show the full screen of the footage, with Katie and the 3M car. I was always respectful to have it zoomed in. But then, of course, fish sticks had it, when he was obsessed with these children, this neighbor's children, which is just creepy. He just showed the whole view. So it's pretty much, exactly where the house is at. So this is the camera, where it's coming from. You got the, as you can see, part of the basketball hoop right here. And that is right here. And that is the direction of the camera, more or less, right? Of one of them, anyway. This one has multiple cameras. But we're going to use some things to look at. And I'll promise you guys see why we're going this way. Oh, you did! Oh, oh my God, if you found it, maybe we could take a look at it. Maybe overlay it. Oh, Betty, you are the best. God bless you. After we go over this, let me write this down. Wow, this is gonna be a big show. You are a legend, Betty. Okay. Yeah, Utah is beautiful. I mean, I want to be biased. I love Utah. I love having the mountains, the Wasatch Mountains there. Okay, so what's going on here? I'm sorry. Oh shoot, maybe I should turn off my notifications. Sorry guys. Oh gosh. I know I'm probably one of my mods. Oh no. So alert box. Does that stop it? Okay. Just so we don't have the binging going over and over and over. But I appreciate even if it's wobbly, that's fine. All I have to do is just take a screenshot. But I mean, if you at least had a little bit of, I'm sure you had, more brain cells than, those people and the actual want to solve this case. I'm sure, attempted the best you could to, line up the camera. And yeah, no worries. We'll definitely take a look at it. I appreciate that. Okay, so why are we going over here? And I took off the alert box for a minute so we're not beeping while I'm talking. So we're zooming in on a particular area. Now this area happens to overlook Stafford Court. So keep in mind, let me pull up Google Earth one more time. So keep in mind, we got rolling hills, right? They're in rolling hills. Notice how, at the top of Killen here, notice the level, how it goes down, right? And then it just keeps going down. And that's why they have that storm drain water thing that goes down this way, because obviously gravity, right? So keep that in mind. We have this kind of overhead view, shall we say, which is important. Oh, that is so awesome. I heard, God, I remember like maybe watching one of your lives and I'd never seen it. So I am so stoked because, even though I do my overlays, until I actually have like the actual day shot of it or something that's very close, making those lines or subject 1 and 2, they're never going to appear exactly where they should be until I actually have that proper angle down view, or at least close, closer the better. Okay. Now I'm excited. Oh my God, it's going to be a huge show. Thank you, Betty. And again, thank you, Hush Pop. People probably keep saying that. And of course to everybody in here. June, I saw your donation earlier. I'll try to get to it. Thank you, June. You're always in here supporting this channel. God bless you. Okay, so why am I doing this? Anybody in chat have an idea what row of lights these are? Do you know what road is in front of these lights? I mean, I'm pretty sure I guess that's kind of I wouldn't say rhetorical question, but for those that know the geography, I mean, there's really only one road. So we are looking at the lights of these 3 homes here. Mainly these 2. Well, actually, it's going to be these 4, but it'll eventually be this one and this one. And it'll be very important why we're... Oh, you're down south. Hurricane, right? That's down south, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure that's south. Yeah, I'm in Salt Lake. All right, and you'll see where I'm going with this here. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Bama. And thank you to the mods as well. Okay, so those are the lights. This light in particular is one, and this one as well. and you'll see. So as you can see here, because I'm trying to be respectful, because again, I was able to get more extended footage. You'll see at the top right, and I couldn't really make it bigger. I guess maybe I should have put it at the bottom and just cropped it. I didn't even think about that. But anyway, as you can see here, it's at 9, almost 10 o'clock, right? Yeah, almost 10 o'clock. Now, what's the direction we're looking at, right? So what exactly are we looking? And I'm going to show you here in just a second. You'll see. Now we have 3 main things that we can kind of give us an idea of what we're looking at. So we have this home here, right? And we have this home here lit up, and then we have some lights right here. This is very important. And then there's a thing that kind of gives us a direction of exactly where we're looking at. But that's a house on Stafford, basically like a house over from the Stink Feet, like 1 or 2 over. So again, here's that line, and I'm going to show it. So I think that's probably this home. If you notice, there's this tree. There's actually 2 trees here. Oh man, that went a little faster than I thought it would. You know what I'm going to do is I am going to take the playback. I knew I should have slowed this down. Dang it. Okay. So you're going to notice there's this tree here and this home in front of us. There's this big tree here, and there's another tree right beside it. That is these 2 trees right here. Notice how I got the line? That's this tree and this tree. And this is the house that is basically, and if I were to, I don't know, Google Earth, because when they went up here, they got like older screenshots. It's terrible. But that's what we're looking at. You can clearly see that there's 2 trees, one bigger than the other one. And if we just follow that line, so that's this tree and there's a driveway, and those trees are parallel. You'll see where I'm getting at here in just a minute. Okay, I'm glad I slowed this down. So using that, so as you can see, there's that tree highlighting as the car comes by. And there is kind of an example, right? So me using that line. So there's that tree, and there's that line. Now notice what is right to the left of the line, right? So we just kind of keep that imaginary line and or tree, because I take out the line. But remember, we're going to have this lighthouse that's, it may be this one, but I think it's this one. It could be either one. I think it is this one. But just keep in mind, just to the left of those lights is the Proudfoot home. So right here, and this light here is this home facing us here. Well, it's actually faces right here, but we are getting the light from this. That makes sense. So the Proud Feet home, not only the Stink Feet home, but Chris Carr and Proud Feet yard are literally right in this little box. And you'll see where I'm kind of going with this. If you did get a membership, your name would go green. I don't know if you have to check anything anymore. Does anybody know? Do you have to check? Because before you used to have to say, hey, I want to accept gifts. I don't think, do they do that anymore? Oh, Princess Gumshoe says, let me know in chat. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, if someone can let her know. But anyway, so this is the Proudfoot home right just directly below this. Now, I know we can't really see anything, but this is the idea. Oh, do they? Okay. All right. I thank you. Yeah, if anybody knows how to... Okay, it looks like Gumshoe's trying to tell her. Okay. Okay, some people are saying yes. Okay. So if you haven't done that, who was it? Shoot, I forgot them. Obama. Yeah, check your the dots, I guess. I'll have to keep that in mind to look that up. I just thought it'd be automatic. I don't know why you need to like accept that. It seems ridiculous. Okay, so as you can see, the time up here is 3:30. We've been starting at 7. I have one at 7, or no, I think it's 8 o'clock. I have one at basically 10 o'clock. This one is at 11:30. And remember that just below this is the Proudfoot home and even the Chris Carr, their yards are here. Now, I know we can't really see anything, but the idea, and this is kind of thinking outside the box, is the idea. Now, again, I don't have all the footage. I don't have, the whole 24 hours, although I'm pretty sure law enforcement does. I know this guy, or I should say, I know this person has not only events, which are, any motion censored activity, which are the clips we're looking at, but they also have the 24-hour footage. Now, basically what I'm trying to say is that they could, and I'm looking because I just got this footage to see if I can see anything. Now I know here the police, but this is the DoorDash guy, so I'm not gonna. And I don't want to show the homeowner. But the idea is because we'd be able to see that is basically Waltham Court. Is that how it's pronounced? Yeah, Waltham. Okay, Waltham Court, right. So that is basically Waltham Court right here. And right here again is Proudfoot and Chris Carr's backyard. And long story short is, now unfortunately we don't have, at least I don't have a motion sensor of 3 a.m. to 3:10, right? So we could see, but I would not be shocked if in that footage that TBI and FBI and the others had, that during, if this event, the subjects were moving around between 3 and 3:10 or whatever, or somewhere around in there, I would not be surprised to see maybe some kind of light source, because really there is, we have this big tree here, but as you can see, we got this cluster of trees, but as we go left, just left of those clusters of trees, and remember, we're at a little bit higher angle, that right to the left really is, especially Chris Carr's backyard, it is, open for business, shall we say. So, and even all this area here. So, that is all this. So, I would think there could be a chance, is basically what I'm saying. Hopefully, you guys are catching on here. That between this 3 a.m. and 3:10, that you may see some lights moving, and it may be another angle that they could look at to show that that light not only came from the stink feet, allegedly, but they could maybe even see if it came from car. Again, there's tons of other cameras that could probably prove that or disprove that, but this is just another outside the box thinking. But when I was looking at this footage, when it was sent to me, I'm like, oh my God, like I can clearly see Stafford Road. I can see the home that, there's one home that's really lit up, that stays lit up at night, and it's just across the street from the Stink Feet, which is this home. And so their home's a little bit here, and then their backyard and everything would be here. But yeah, this is new footage that I like I said, I just got. One thing I want to say is, remember how they, I've already debunked their stupid garbage can neighbor thing, but I thought it'd be funny to look to see, because here's the garbage guy, right? Here he is going up the road. That neighbor would be, let's see, if we look at the thing, that neighbor, let's see where the tree is at. So there's the tree. So he would just be just inside the tree, almost to the left a little bit. That's the neighbor that allegedly took his trash out. Just a couple homes over from the lights. So about here. And you can see the tree as it lights up here. So that's kind of our North Star, shall we say. So we know the Proudfoot's home is like right here. And so that driveway would be right here. I don't see anybody running their trash can out with the flashlight. Now, of course, I only have 20 seconds. But, I would think, as far as the trash can goes, I would think, there's a possibility we'd see that flashlight. But hopefully you guys see what I'm talking about. Again, I just got that footage. And, there's still a lot more I got to examine with this. And I can't really show a lot of the daytime shots for now anyway. But it's more footage to look at in general as a whole. But the main point getting across is you can definitely have a vantage point of Chris Carr and their backyard. And I think if those lights were moving, I think, especially how dim some of these lights are that you see in this video, that I wouldn't put it past it. The flashlights, to associate with how decent this camera is, to possibly pick up those flashlights. And really, obviously we're not going to make out a figure from this far away. As a matter of fact, if I take this daytime shot, this is what I was going to do. So, just to show you guys. Let me do this. Just to show you guys a daytime shot here. And then we'll take Betty's thing real quick. This will be exciting. And then I'll read chat here. Screenshot. Okay, so here's a daytime shot, right? So there's that tree. That's kind of our North Star. So we know the Proudfoot home is just to the left. And we can see that there's some open area just over right here, which I think would be Proudfoot's home would definitely be right here. This might even be it. I'm not 100%. We can kind of see like a gray, brown, not gray, kind of a brown, darkish. You see the roof of the home lower down, but I think the next one would be Chris Carr. As a matter of fact, I didn't even think about this giant tree here. Might be able to use this as a anchor point, but no matter what, their backyard is, in this general area. And the fact that we can see a light on Waltham Court tells me that, this little area here, even though, again, it's so far away, again, if somebody's running around with 2 flashlights, I would not be surprised if there's a chance this camera caught a little bit of that. Again, is it going to be like case breaking? No, but it'd be another source from a different angle to say, hey, look, we can see little tiny lights coming from your backyard. And let's say if Chris Carr was involved, maybe you could see the light coming out from his backyard. I don't know. Just a little bit outside the box thinking. So let's see. What Betty sent me here. Is it in junk? I'm not seeing it, Betty. Did you? Oh, wait. Hold on. Is Betty still here? Dang, I should have checked it before I... Did you send it to my other email? Sorry, I can't see chat when I'm pulling up my email because I have to protect people's identities. Let me see if you sent it to my Google one. Betty, I don't see it. Oh, let me close this. Yes, leave. Leave. Oh, is Betty still here? Dang it, I should have checked that. Oh, no. No. Has anybody seen Betty? Yeah, exactly, Jennifer. The more, the better. Right. Yeah, it's like the cocaine bear. It reminds me of the cocaine bear. Have you guys seen that movie? It's a funny movie. Dang it! Oh man. I don't know, maybe she left. I know she does a lot of different live shows. Oh, thank you, Geneva. You rock. You are awesome. Thank you so much. 37 months. That's insane. Dang it. Oh, I knew I should have probably looked that up. Let me check one more time. Let me just see. No, not in the junk. Dang it. That would be huge. Okay, well, that's okay. Hopefully, I'll reach out to her and ask for it, and then we can do that next live. All right, one more thing, one more topic. And again, Hush Puppy, you are a legend. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you sent 50. That is insane. So I want to play just a little bit from hindsight, which is very interesting about the warrant. And this gives me probably the best hope that this actually is true. And I'll also try to get a link to her channel. I meant to do that before I went live, but I was just doing so much. But we'll play, I think maybe 10 minutes of their live. Let's see, what time did I go live? 6:30. Okay. I think we're doing good. I think we're doing good. Okay, there it is.
Second, 20.
Okay, perfect. Okay. And if you guys want to go over and subscribe to Hindsight, excuse me, I'm so sorry. They do an amazing job. I mean, they dive into everything. As you guys know, I'm kind of the video guy, but they dive into, I mean, everything. And if there's a recording you need or a quote, Hindsight or BMW is your person to go to. They are amazing for that, and it's great to keep a library of everything that Chris and KK and all those people have said. Yeah, that's a bummer. I knew I should have looked at it. That's okay. Betty has left $1 billion. That's okay. You know what? Because I'm trying to keep my shows under 2 hours. I usually try to do an hour and a half. That way, for people that want to rewatch, it's not super long. But I'm going to play a little bit of, it's called Voices of Truth. It came out 4 days ago. And they give some really good arguments to this being a warrant. Now, they kind of go through a list of like things that happened before this alleged warrant, which is interesting. Now, of course, if this is over an hour long, and I, want to keep my show down to less than 2 hours, but let's just get to their kind of main point. But they have so many points. All these that they got listed, they go through them, talking about how people probably sent stuff in. I know I sent some stuff in probably back then. I'm not sure what I had been working on. Probably video stuff. Not to say that it was, but could be a combination of things. But
with that person who is trying to be vigilant and share only official updates from trusted sources.
So basically, it means that whatever rumor gets put out there by one person, make sure you have some kind of proof or receipts to back that up and not just have it just being spread around for no reason.
Oh, one of the things they bring up, and again, I wish I could go through all of this. One of the things they bring up, and I don't know if you can see it here, because again, they're just going down this list. Amazing list. Amazing job, ladies. Is talking about the America's Most Wanted filming. As a matter of fact, I almost want to play that. Let's do that, because you would think that they, here's their chance. America's Most Wanted. I mean, been watching that show as a kid, right? And here's their chance to get on a huge stage. And of course, huge red flag. They did not film at their home yet. If you don't know, I even have let's say someone saw Katie driving for that segment, they get some B-roll footage. Katie's talking about, oh yeah, I got up that morning and I was driving around looking for my child. So she did a reenactment. That was seen by people. So anyway, so they had so clearly their home was available, because if they're able to go to their neighborhood and have Katie go drive literally down Kellen for this B-roll footage, they could certainly record in their home unless they have something to hide.
Location to go ahead and make that filming. So let's take a listen to Chris Proud.
I think so too, Jennifer.
Yeah, so it was filmed in two different segments or days, basically.
Right.
They came.
Maybe you guys at home or like in an office setting?
Ours is not inside of our house. Ours is in a different area.
Oh, gotcha.
I won't disclose the area. No,
you don't have to. I'm just saying, when he was explaining that they were in the bedroom, I thought, well, they must have done this in home or something,
It was a personal choice.
Oh, nice.
And that's something that Katie and I talked about, and we decided on other things for various reasons. And
I think that.
just like what someone said right here. Maybe it's because if they went in his bedroom, they would notice, all of his stuff's gone. Whereas we've seen in other cases where mothers, even with murders, with their child, they won't touch it, right? Because it's like a memorial. But yeah, not with them. And again, it's not like it wasn't inconvenient for them, right? Because, like I said, Katie, I've seen it. Katie was literally reenacting, it looked like the same footage, more or less, of her, reenacting. So
that's why, But I mean, the way it was done, it was very tasteful. It's very professional.
That's awesome.
And I think Seth, from what I've heard.
Yeah. Anyway, so they go on to give other good reasons, but let's get into the dispatch audio and then some of the stuff that they mentioned, which is interesting because if you remember, they also got a subpoena as well, and they were trying to pass it off as a subpoena, but they make a great point here about why.
And is still researching it. When they say, I'm still looking into that, it doesn't mean that they are not believing it to be true or not true. It just means that they are continuing to
there and try to bring it to everybody in the public and then try to report it afterwards. It just needs to be reported.
I agree. And that goes instead of So then we move on to actually the April 2nd criminal warrant dispatch audio.
Okay, here we go.
And let's take a listen to that, and then I'm sure that we will have plenty to discuss with that BMW.
I disagree.
Fast forward, and this is the most significant piece of information, and I'm going to disclose it, and I'm going to put it out on Twitter now. Roughly 1 year after Sebastian Rogers went missing, law enforcement descended on his residence and executed a search warrant.
So, and that was Nerdy Attic, who recently had posted that on his X account and also on his live stream that there was a search warrant that was given to the Proudfoot home. Let's rewind before we get to that alleged February 7th date, 2025, that Nerdy Addict had disclosed was the date of the search warrant. And let's take a look back from our vault at what we had talked about, raised questions, not a summons. It was a criminal warrant.
Okay, well, every legal document that's served is considered a warrant of some sort.
And Chris is saying, raise questions in support of its truth. And let's review why.
Can you show me out at 1008 Stafford Court, warrant criminal?
Warrant criminal on April 2nd, 2025 of this year. Dispatch audio. And if you guys remember, this is right before I got sick too, which is a bummer. Actually, I was already starting to have stomach issues. Chris wanted to come on my live that day, which was really weird, you know. He was making the rounds, if you guys remember, which is really odd because remember, they're passing off as a subpoena, which they bring up in this, which is a great point, that they did get a subpoena, but a subpoena is not a criminal warrant. And I wish, maybe there's some lawyer people in here or law people, but, again, I don't think they would put that over there and say that's the criminal warrant. But I think they got not only a warrant, but they got a subpoena. And then what they tried to do is pass it off as just being a subpoena. And I never even thought about that they actually did get a subpoena as well. And when you look it up, and they're going to show that here. And so Chris does say, oh, and she's going to play it here. But this is actually interesting.
It is considered a warrant of some sort.
Let me back
2025 at approximately 8:28 a.m. Central Time. That they were at that address. It was a criminal.
Here.
Respectfully, he is so wrong.
That is...
You don't get a warrant on a subpoena.
Absolutely incorrect, with all due respect. And as you can see, at the top of this piece of paper that he provided...
Oh, that's right. Yeah, even providing a piece of paper.
Subpoena.
That's right.
It does not say warrant.
That's right. You can see it here. I apologize. Yeah, I've seen this. And again, why would they? If it's just a stupid subpoena, which I believe is for regarding Betty, if I recall. But if that's it, why are you freaking out? If you just got some stupid subpoena, why are you making the rounds that day? And even trying to provide proof, unless you're like freaking out. And yeah, it just like, and then wanting to come on my show.
We have personally contacted to verify that a subpoena is not a warrant. They do not classify them as warrants.
Whether it's a subpoena or some type of warrant, they still list it as a warrant.
But it's not a criminal warrant that was.
So he's saying here that no matter if it's a subpoena or a warrant, or wait, how did he word that again? Gosh, now the way he did this here was, yeah. Whereas subpoena or some kind of warrant.
It says subpoena. It does not say warrant. We have personally contacted.
And then I think what he worded as criminal or something like that. And then, of course, I'm sure any of the, smart lawyer people would argue how ridiculous that is. And I really think they just got lucky that that they did get a subpoena, which they tried to play that off. But, and here is, remember, when you go to the website.
And this was, again, for that court hearing with Bullhorn Betty. That was later revised to another date as we wait for the appellate.
Is that the same court day that Chris and Mama got into it, respectfully?
Yes, April.
Okay, there's one more part to this.
So my thought is, respectfully, when they showed up to bring that criminal warrant, did they also take along Katie's subpoena for that hearing?
That would make sense. Two birds with one stone.
My thought, respectfully, says yes. Or Katie was given that subpoena by a process server on that same day. And let's take a look now at the update that was put into record for that date of April the 2nd for Katie. So on April the 2nd, it now shows that Katie was served her subpoena,
Right, subpoena. And basically what she's saying is they was trying to say, which they did get served a subpoena, but clearly we heard criminal warrant. So likely they, from what I understand, probably had both. And then obviously, I think they go on to say in this, because again, I'm going to try to keep this live because we've gone pretty long, is that obviously, if that criminal warrant did happen, we wouldn't be able to search it up because obviously, if it's a criminal case or anything, this is an ongoing case regarding Sebastian. Obviously, not the subpoenas that are not related to Sebastian, which is related to the Bullhorn Betty stuff. And so, yeah, that makes total sense. This is Hindsight and BMW as the YouTube names, and I do have a link. But if you want to watch their whole, I didn't know. Oh, I guess I'll put the link again here in a minute.
Respectfully, for that date, live stream that Elevated Truth has done is a very non-biased live stream,
which I like.
And I recommend that if you'd like to hear.
Yeah, so this is really good work. Again, I'm just playing a few snippets of their argument. But now kind of listen to this. And again, they provide more arguments, and I wish I could play the whole thing, but obviously, it's a full hour and a half, and we've already gone over an hour, nearly 2 hours, I think. Started at 6:30, so we got an hour and a half. But yeah, some great arguments, and yeah, I really do think that they did go in there, take their laptops and their surveillance cameras, and if possible, that's huge because that's a year later, right? Even though it's still a year later. And the other thing I've noticed, let me know in chat, because I know that a lot of people in here have their own channels and stuff, just like Hindsight. Have you guys noticed, and it just may be me, maybe they're just distracted with other stuff, but they've been pretty quiet, right? Especially after this whole Nerdy Addict thing. Other than, when he mentioned the burner phone, they kind of went nuts with that for a little bit, and then the cadaver dogs, they kind of made a big deal out of that, which was absolute nonsense. I mean, you know what I find funny is Chris always likes to have people refer back to the TBI or Sumner counties, rumors and truth or whatever. And yeah, in that they talk about the dogs. And of course I'm really paraphrasing because I haven't looked at it for a long time, but I know they basically said what we heard a long time ago, that it was all false negatives. So you keep saying, refer to all that. That's got all the truth. That's the proof. Yet here you are trying to say otherwise, that these dogs not only went, caught his scent, but then went 7 miles south and got a cadaver dog and all this nonsense. And then, of course, people went nuts. But other than that, it is, since PigFest, exactly. Even PigFest, really, I thought that was going to be, last weekend, because that was last weekend, I thought that was going to be I was hoping it wasn't, but I thought there was going to be some kind of YouTube drama, somewhere, in the parking lot or something. And I'm glad that didn't happen, because that would take away from, Sebastian himself. But I was kind of, wondering if that would go down. Yeah. Oh, oops. So there's a link to their Hindsight's channel there, where you can watch that full video. I think they make some really great arguments. And Hindsight has all the quotes and stuff. Well, I don't want to say, because I haven't watched all their stuff, but I know they've kept a library of a lot of the most important stuff, which is very important as we build this stuff. But yeah, so anyway, if you came in late, just real quick, just recap. Earlier today, working on Chat GPT, if you missed it, with the 3M Kellen car with having footage from that using Chat GPT, and this took 2 days plus feeding it video, screenshots, focusing on just the taillights, then the body, and then eventually the rim. And yeah, it basically says that it is a 2016 to 2017 Honda Accord, which is, to me, is huge. And again, remember, I know quite a few people that are local to that area, and they have no idea who this car is, right? Even though Fish Sticks wants to say, oh yeah, this is a DoorDash driver or somebody, a boyfriend dropping off his girlfriend. Nobody has seen this car since. They have no idea. People in the neighborhood have talked about it. They have no idea who this person is, right? So, yeah. Oh, free membership. Some people can gift memberships, and then it's just random. As long as you have agreed to get gifted memberships, it's just random. So keep that in mind. That way, people aren't picking their favorites. So keep that in mind. Joe Neal says states can have different terminology, though. They could have been subpoenaed just to make official statements under oath. Again, but when it comes to the law stuff, that's not, that's out my above my pay grade. Could a warrant be from CPS? It's a good question. All I know is I found it really odd that they panicked like they did. And for it to just be a subpoena, and then again, they want to even come on. Yeah, the only problem with Jelly Bean is, remember, this is taking everything Jelly Bean. And again, yes, Honda Civic was in the mix. Keep that in mind. But when it came to the taillights, they weren't as close a match as the Honda Accord. Thank you, Sandra. I appreciate that. Yeah, I could care less. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, the reward would be to have those responsible put behind bars, and if we could find Sebastian, whether alive or not, though that would be the ultimate reward, obviously. Yeah, it's her name right here. Oops. Well, she goes with BMW there, but yeah. Just like that. I put the thing there. One more time. That's it right there. Yeah, go check them out. So last thing. Cecil says the tail light and house lights have been covered. Yeah, until I get the answers, why wouldn't I look at that? It's evidence, right, Cecil? I mean, I could come up and make theories and talk about cadaver dogs and bullshit you. I mean, I'm not going after you, Cecil, but yeah. And if you knew the bigger picture, which unfortunately I just can't say, there's a reason why I'm doing this, especially using Chat GPT, which is much more accurate. I could do a lot more. Again, now, this is the first time I was able to, this is the reason why I cover it over and over, is because now I can say, I'd say 95% that this is a Honda Accord, even though, yeah, we speculated it was a Honda Accord nearly 8 months ago. But now I'm able to take better technology programs and use that to get a much better accurate result, which is important, right? Because if this Honda Accord was involved and somehow in his disappearance, don't you think it'd be pretty huge to get that out there, right? I would hope. Just saying. And I do understand, I have gone over the same stuff, but I am trying to trying to solve this using the evidence, right? that we have. So, one last thing. Okay, I'm so sorry, guys. Keep in mind, I am a little tired because I've been just nonstop grinding all this stuff. Okay, thank you, Deborah. I haven't seen it yet. Again, I think I've mentioned this a couple times. The area I'm in, I've got the AC units above me. I'm on the second floor of an apartment, 2-story apartment, and all the AC units are above me. So, sometimes my signal is decent, and then sometimes it's just, I have to like move 2 inches or 2 feet. So, yeah. I appreciate that. And again, no, I'm not going after Cecil. I get it, like going over, but there's a reason why I'm tenacious and I have to get to the answers, and I'm not going to give up. And, there's other people looking into theories and other things. So that's why I am sticking with the footage, right? There's so much I've learned over a year, right? Like, when I first looked at the footage, I had no idea about the motion light sensor. It was there in front of me the entire time. And again, it took me nearly a year to figure out, oh my God, a motion light sensor kicks on while the lights are moving, which tells you that there's clearly an object close enough to set off the motion light. And then when you look at that, the video skips forward to where this car doesn't turn on its lights until the motion light sensor then kicks back off its lights. So that's why you're tenacious. That took 8 months to a year to figure out, even though it was right in front of me. But again, yeah, it's just being tenacious and never giving up. So anyway, Hush Pup, you're a legend. Thank you so much. I'm sorry for those that wanted to be gifted and didn't get gifted. A lot of times, each time people gift stuff in upcoming shows, so there's always next time. With that, I'm going to end it because I want to try to keep my lives down to an hour and a half. But yeah, I'll have some stuff for the members. Oh, I did put some stuff out for the members and Patreons today. And I'll have some other stuff as well. Hopefully by tomorrow. I've got a lot of work to do tomorrow, so we'll see. If not, by the end of this weekend. So we will be back live tomorrow with some more stuff. But I hope you guys enjoyed this live. And yes, huge shout out to my mods, Sassy, Pocahontas, D, Jennifer. I don't know if I saw Jocelyn in here. Sensei Sassy, Pocahontas, D, Jocelyn, Jennifer. I always forget one. It never fails. But thank you to my wonderful mods. All right, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your Halloween Eve. And yeah, and I'm sorry if you guys sent me something and I just haven't gotten it yet. I still don't see it. But if you do see Betty, I will try to email her myself and see if I can get that. Man, that would have been fun. That'll be fun for tomorrow's show. I'll send her an email. All right, guys. Much love.